What's up, good people? Today we're talking about NIO, the car company, NIO, the stock. Well, first of all, disclaimer, this is what everybody has to say. This is not financial advice. This is not relationship advice. This is not spiritual advice. This is not financial advice. This is not nutritional advice. This isn't even a guy talking. This is literally the ramblings of a madman. Okay, this is me just speaking into the ether. This is imaginary voice inside your head. Okay, but anyway, so why is Neo stock down today? I don't necessarily know that Neo stock is down today, but I was up in the morning and I looked at the pre-market and it said that Neo stock had dropped by 25 cents from like $5 to 5.80 or 5.50. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Remember, this is not financial advice, and I don't really even know what I'm talking about. But I noticed another news article, and it showed that. Well, I'm just going to show it to you here on the screen, actually. So this says that Neo sub-brand Amvo sees weekly registrations drop 37% to 820 vehicles. So if you don't know, weekly registrations are like they keep track of how many people register their vehicles for insurance purposes, I guess, over in China. So based on how many people registered the vehicle, you get an idea of how many deliveries they've had. So how many not necessarily how many cars they produced, but how many deliveries they've delivered to people. So how many sales essentially. So it says it's dropped by 37%. So it's like, oh man, 37%, that's a lot. So let's just read it for a little bit and then we'll go over it. So it says Ambo, the sub-brand of Chinese electric vehicle maker NIO, registered 820 units from November 4th to the 10th, and marking a 37% decrease. Okay, from 1,300 units in the prior week, according to weekly insurance data released on Tuesday. The main NIO brand recorded 3,000 units, down 31% from 4,400 in the previous week. In total, NIO Group's registration stood at 3,820, a decline from the 5,700 from the week before. Okay, so we know the insurance registrations were down. That means that the deliveries, didn't happen because the people haven't registered their vehicle. So because when they register the vehicle for insurance, that's how they're getting this data. Okay, they got to register it. But I could go on and read the rest of the article, but I'll leave it at a link. You could just read it yourself. It's just going over. It's comparing it to Xiaomi. They put in this little blurb about the Ambo's chief executive has recently commented on the competition with Xiaomi. Sorry, my computer's overheating at this time. But with Xiaomi's debut SUV, the SU7, which reached 20,000 deliveries in October. I think they mean total. So they're basically saying that, hey, there's competition from this other thing and, this other car. So maybe that's what's causing our deliveries. But now let me show you another news article. Okay, this came out on the same day. Tale of Two Cities here. It says, and this came out November 12th, which is today. The other article came out just today, November 12th. Yeah, November 12th, and this was November 12th. So this one says, NIO Envo L60 wait time slightly reduced 10 to 14 weeks. Okay, it's reduced 10 to 14 weeks. So what was it before? It says Chinese customers who currently buy the Envo L60 are expected to get deliveries 10 to 14 weeks after locking in their orders, down from 12 to 16 weeks previously. So 12 to 16 weeks that's 3 to 4 months, something like that, because 4 weeks in a month, 10 to 14 weeks, that's 2 to 3, that's still 2 months, a little over 2 months. Well, that's more than 2 months. Actually, 10 to 14 weeks that's 2 to 3 months. So it takes them 2-3 months to get the car. And they usually, when they lock in the order, it means you don't get your money back. It means you locked in your order. Now let me ask you something. Can NIO book those? Well, they can probably book the sales. They can book it as we sold something. Is it going to show up in insurance deliveries? That's what I'm asking you guys. Is it going to show up in insurance deliveries? I don't think so. If I'm wrong, somebody can comment and let me know. But I don't think it shows up in insurance because you haven't got the car. Why the hell am I going to insure it? I don't have the car yet, so it's not going to show up in insurance registries. Now, the bigger question is, why are people waiting to get their car? Why? 10 to 14 weeks. So, first of all, if there was a demand issue for the car, you wouldn't have to wait 10 to 14 weeks. You just get the car. I think they say they roll a car off the line every 1 minute, but I don't think so, because then based on their factor in HAFA, if they're rolling one off really every 1 minute, maybe when the lines are running, because the lines do shut down or whatever, I guess, at certain times. But what I'm basically trying to say is, if they could produce the car as fast as people were ordering them, people wouldn't have to wait 10 to 14 weeks. They would have the cars already. But if you hypothetically got orders for 30,000 cars that you didn't know you was going to have, and I'm not saying they got orders for 30,000 cars, I have no idea. But the CEO guided that, hey, in March, we're going to sell 20,000 cars. How does he know this? They're like, hey, in December, we're going to sell 10,000. We're going to, we hope or whatever, we plan to sell 10,000 cars. In October, we plan to move about 5,000, I think, which they almost did that. And so this month, I think, is it this month they plan to move 10,000? I don't know. I think it's next month. But how do they even have any idea? Well, they probably, and I don't know, I'm not an analyst, but they probably take orders, on their website. Anybody who lives in China that's ordered one, or if you're ordering cars, let us know. But we know from people here that have ordered through Tesla online or in a dealership, when Tesla was ramping Model 3, they went through what they call production hell, where Elon had to go and sleep. Everybody's heard the stories. Elon went and slept in the factory and, did all this crazy stuff because they were going through production hell. They had to scale it. See, we're to the point now with EVs where Tesla set the standard. They're already making money. They're making money hand over foot. They set the standard. Their production is, running smoother. They're producing 500,000 cars a quarter or something like that. I'm not sure, but they're producing a lot of cars. So the expectation level is higher for everybody. All eyes are on everybody else. Are they making profits? Are they growing at a certain clip? But basically, the moral of this video today was just to demonstrate to you guys two completely different narratives. One is insurance levels have fallen by 37%. The other one is customers waiting for their car. So why are customers waiting for their car? Probably because there's some kind of bottlenecks going on in production. Okay, what's a bottleneck? It's like when you try to put too much water in a bottle or try to force something through, it gets stuck. You need to pull it back, make the pipe larger, and flow, push the water through at a certain rate so that it goes smoothly. But you didn't know you don't have that much water coming through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, wow, the demand. So I guess what I'm trying to say is bottlenecks is the most likely reason. I worked for Club Car a long time ago, like 30 years ago. I worked for this company called Club Car making golf carts. And based on the sales, when we got a lot more sales, the line picked up. Or actually, when we produced a new Club Car, we had different things we had to. I did the battery hold down, where you put this wire in and hold the battery down in the little golf cart. But if something changed or we had a new model, it was something new we had to learn how to do. And they had to get new parts from suppliers and all this other kind of stuff. So, we got into some production hell, so to speak. Is that what's happening with NIO? Is that why they're making people wait 10 to 14? They're not making people wait. People have to wait 10 to 14 weeks. Is that what's happening here? I can't say for sure. I don't know. And plus, this isn't financial advice, and I'm not an analyst. My opinion is, I would say that they're going through bottleneck problems with production. And I'm okay with that. I would much rather them have bottleneck problems with production, then have a demand problem. And I don't think they have a demand problem. Sorry, I just like to goof off on guitar every now and then. But yeah, I don't think they have a demand problem. But because here in America we just had a big election, okay, and Elon Musk was stumping for Trump, and Trump ended up winning, and now the Tesla stock went way up. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of U.S. equities are doing very good, and a lot of Chinese equities are like not. And so there's a lot of different narrative going on, but there's so much going on. There's so much going on. But I can only say this: any news that is remotely negative about NIO is going to drive that stock down. But I personally think it's temporary. How temporary? I don't know. It could be a week, could be a month, could be next spring per se. But I suspect that they will get it cleared up in the next month or two here. I suspect that by March, I think they can have it sorted out to where they will be reaching like 20,000 Envo vehicles per month or something like this. I think that they know they already have the orders for it. This article confirms to me. Let's just read through this article before I let you guys go. So it says, start at the top. It says Chinese customers who currently buy the Envo L60 are expected to get deliveries 10 to 14 weeks after locking in their orders, down from 12 to 16 weeks previously. Nice picture of an Envo. It says delivery wait times in China for the L60, the first model from NIO sub-brand Envo, became slightly shorter, signaling that production capacity may have been boosted. Okay, may have been boosted because they're clearing up some of these bottlenecks. Chinese customers who currently order each variant of the Envo L60 are expected to get deliveries 10 to 14 weeks after locking in their orders. Information from Envo app shows. Locking in your orders. That wait time is about 2 weeks shorter than the 12 to 16 weeks it was when CNV Post began monitoring it at the end of October. Envo L60 was launched September 19th and deliveries began on September 28th. Okay. The model's production capacity was expected to reach 5,000 units in October and 10,000 units in December. So we'll see. This is November. So if they can get what they need to get cleared up, we'll see. By January 2025, the capacity would reach at least 16,000 units and 20,000 units by March. Lee said at the time. On September 29th, Envo said in Q&A posted to its mobile app that L60's production pace may be brought forward a little from the original plan. Envo L60 delivered 832 units in September and 4,319 in October, according to figures previously announced by NIO. Separately, a regulatory filing last week revealed that NIO had added a new CATL manufacturing site as a source of battery supply for the Envo L60. Remember what I was saying about bottlenecks, guys? You changing suppliers and different things going on. You got to work it out. In the original filing information for the Envo L60, its batteries included lithium ternary batteries supplied by CALB, never heard of them, as well as lithium iron phosphate batteries supplied by CATL's production site in Liang, Jiangsu province, and BYD's battery site in Wuwei, Anu. I wish I took Mandarin in school. A CATL production base in Luoyang. I'm sorry to murder you guys' names. I apologize. Appears in the battery supply information for the Envo L60 in the change battery supply sources, while the rest remains the same. So it's saying that in the documentation it shows that NIO changed their supplier for the batteries. for a component of the batteries or some of the batteries. Information on the Envo L60 configuration page shows that for the rear-wheel drive variant, the standard range, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you guys can read the article yourself. So this article confirms, I mean, it kind of confirms what I just said, guys. Bottlenecks. I don't know what to tell you guys. Here's the funny thing about insurance registrations. They can be low one week, and next week you could notice a big spike, a big jump, based on how many cars they're able to get across the line or get delivered or whatever. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I have no idea what the future is, and I don't read stock charts. You know, guys that read stock charts, they can tell you about 50-day moving average and a Fibonacci, and some of them are pretty good at predicting price movements because a lot of guys that invest in the market also read those stock charts. So there's a little bit of self-fulfilling prophecy. They're reading the stock charts. The guys know when it's going to move. They make their trades based on those stock charts. They're not just reading the stock charts for their own health. They're reading the stock chart because they got money invested in the market too. So you got a lot of those traders doing things. You got a lot of naked shorts. You got a lot of things I don't even understand. But does this change the fundamentals of the company? No. The stock chart is not going to change the fundamentals of the company. I don't want to get into another conversation about building out not supercharger stations, but swap stations. But somebody was complaining about they're building too many swap stations. They can slow up on that, and I mean, you're probably right. You know, they probably could slow up on that, and you know, not have to not build as many to get to profitability sooner or whatever. But bottom line is, it's not going to change the fundamentals of the company. It will affect the stock price. I mean, if they don't slow down the ramp up of that, but you know, I get it. I have money invested in them. I don't like seeing my red, you know, but it's red. It's going to be red. I mean, that's because you're like, damn, I could have bought more at an earlier price. Yeah, I get it. But at $30 a share, $40, $50, $60 a share, nobody cares. Like, nobody's sitting around with Tesla stock right now today going, damn, if I would just got it at $12 a share, I could have got it at $22 instead of $25. No. That stock down split at least once. The stock down going to $3,000. Nobody talking about $4. But if you're trading for the short term, I get it. You put your money in, you was expecting it to go up at a certain. I get what you're saying. But I'm just telling you guys, this article that came out, the insurance registrations, that's in my mind probably why the stock is down, or why, you know, because the stock didn't go up, and the U.S. market went up last week after the Trump election, and NIO stock didn't do anything. It just sat there or went down a little bit. Xpeng stock went up, Li Auto stock, you know, all these other stocks kind of moved a little bit. NIO stock was just like, no, we're just chilling. We ain't, I ain't giving you nothing. I'm gonna just sit right here, and I might go back and retest threes, and you know, but I believe that's a way that they're gonna shake a lot of people out of their position. I don't think it changes anything until I see something about the fundamentals of the company, like changing. Nah, I'm good. I just won't look at it. I just play my guitar for the next couple months or whatever. But bottlenecks, guys, that's probably more than likely what's going on with the and you probably are gonna notice. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm completely guessing. You're probably gonna notice some big jumps in those registrations. I don't know if it's gonna be next week. I don't know if it's gonna be in December. But you're gonna be like, damn, like how'd they go from, you know, like, I don't know, 2,000 registrations a week to 3,000 or something like that. That's what you're going to kind of notice. You're going to be like, damn, they went to 4,000 registrations per week. How did they do that? You know, they clearing up those bottlenecks. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can go from 1,000 cars to 3,000 cars to 4,000 cars in Envo and in NIO, because they got to. Anyway, bottlenecks. Y'all heard me say it. I think it's bottlenecks. I think it's production hell or whatever you want to call it. But there's not that much news about it over there. It ain't like people are watching it like they watch Tesla, you know, on Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, and you know what he's going through because Elon's always telling you what he's going through, what they're going through. But Chinese culture is not like that, so you don't really know what's happening. It's kind of opaque. But now I'm good. I think NIO's good. So anyway, peace out. Hope you enjoy your day. Don't look at the stock price if it makes you depressed. All right, peace.